it is Saturday night once again, and this is the overnight mouse party. I'm being Foss, and if it isn't by God, Tactical Maverick. How you doing? Did you lose us again? Uh-oh. Oh, Lordy. Talking to you, mister. Can you not hear? Well, we'll hopefully get that worked out. Giz or Gary, how you doing?
I'll talk. I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Guns and Barbecue.
I'm doing all right. I thought I'd messing with you, be like, what the crap? Is he? Do we lose him too? But nah, I changed my mind. I'll be nice. Doing well, thank you. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. It looks like we're not going to Discord today since the connection was disconnected. Weren't able to stream to that destination.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that stinks. I don't know if I could fix it on the fly, or I don't want to touch too many buttons. Hey, can you hear again?
Yeah, I got you guys.
All right. So how are you doing?
I'm good. How have you guys been?
Been pretty good. Nothing
That's
to
good.
complain about.
Living the dream, shaking baby, signing tits. You know how it is.
Right on. Right on. Yeah,
Oh,
no, busy with with life, but yeah, just trying to get back on YouTube and trying to want to do make some more content because it's been a while, and I just thought I'd jump in here and hopefully get used to talking a screen again. You know.
well, I'm happy to have you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for, I mean, I know I just jumped in unannounced, but I thought it'd be a nice surprise.
It's a pleasant surprise, and you are always welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
At the bottom of the screen, there is an email address, untechnofoss@gmail.com. You can send in comments, suggestions, and pictures within reason. And there's also a link for the Discord server, place to hang out, chit chat, share pictures and memes and stuff like that. You can always get a hold of me there, and pretty much everybody that comes on the chat, you can get a hold of them through the Discords also. And I saw out there another stranger, Pacifist Productions. Yeah, I saw it on Instagram. If you're sub to him on Instagram, you can see he scoped himself with his 30-06. He posted a picture of it. But nice to see you. Oh. X Adam 1 was asking, is it okay for me to hate on my brother who just won an F1 Watchtower AR-15? He previously won the Etch XPS-2 and Surefire Scout Light. I mean, I have to pay for that stuff, and he wins it.
The answer is yes. Yes, it is okay to hate on your brother.
Oh, I don't know if he should hate on him. Maybe.
Well, I don't know if it's hate. He only used it lowercase letters, so it's not real hate.
Maybe hold a grudge.
He sounds like a jerkwad, anyways. No, maybe butter him up at first. Wait to see what Christmas brings. I mean, obviously, if he gives it to you as a Christmas present, you don't want to look back and be like, man, I was such an a-hole. But if he doesn't, at that point, I think all gloves are off, and destroying his life is perfectly acceptable.
Wood said he bought one of those $99 G-Force shotguns. Yeah,
He
it's
did.
crap. $99.
Being a great shotgun.
I've I've contemplated buying one, and not super seriously, but just for the price. It's hard to pass it up, but it's a $99 shotgun.
Is that one of those single shot, or is it like a pump action?
I think it's a pump.
No, this is a Turkish pump.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I've been looking at those single shot nomads. I don't know, but want to spend $100 on it. Single shot.
I thought about it too, because when I started doing hand loads for the shotgun stuff, I thought that'd be good for a test bed. Just a simple single shot. But the cheap ones, I forget what the brand and model is, but it was uh, like a plastic stock, super light. So, nah. But I don't know. Then I ended up just buying that Moroku. Pretty happy with it. I did order the slide for my other P320, so I could finally finish that.
Nice.
So I'll get that together in a couple of weeks when I get the slide and chef get it to the range. I really like the first P320 I put together. Feels good in the hand, shoots really well.
Yeah. I have the SP 2020 2022. It's really good. For being a poor man's SIG, but it's good.
That was when I bought my first handgun.
Oh, nice.
It was either going to be a HK P30 or the 2022, and the P30 was the one I could get, so that's the one I bought.
Okay.
Vulcan Rumble wants to know P3 what the caliber is going to be. It's also 9mm. Since it's just going to be a range gun, and it's easier to find 9mm stuff for the P320s. I just went with that. Should we look at while we're talking about stuff? We get the Discord. We can look at the little bit of Gorns and stuff. So here, X-Adam1 put a picture, and let me get that up there. There we go. So I think that's the one maybe that his brother won. I'm not a fan of the holes. It's a place for stuff to get stuck. It's interesting.
Yeah,
That's the one he won. That's it was free.
Yeah, it's free. So people do actually win guns, huh? And those gun raffles or whatever. Well, that's good to hear.
I've won a couple.
Oh, that's nice. Good for you. I've yet to win one, but then I probably wouldn't be able to get it shipped to me, considering I live in California. Yeah.
Oh, I don't play anything where I need to get them shipped. I say it's always ones that are local.
Oh, gotcha.
Wow, I don't remember where we left off. I know we probably showed that. That's the other P320 I did. That's the X carry. The second one will be an X compact. Telos is KSG, which I haven't heard if he shot it yet. Kind of curious on what he thinks about it. I've never shot one. People who have them seem to really like them.
Do you think if I got a P320, I could hire it as a sentry gun for intruders that come into my house when I'm not home? I mean, since they just like to go off on their own.
I don't know.
No, probably has to have somebody manipulating it, doesn't it? Probably.
It's Ozzy's. His SP, and he looks like he's got. Not sure if those are penetrators or the extreme penetrators or extreme defenders. It's SP 101.
Really like the grips on that.
Except one's negotiator. I think that's you use that when negotiations have broken down.
No, this is to start negotiations. Get them going your way.
Aggressive negotiations.
Good cop, bad cop. Really like that.
Shig, 1911. It's a high power. Case color, that's pretty.
Did I tell you guys last time I was looking at guns with Slider, he said I need to get a new one? Almost made me cry.
X Adam 1 does have some cool fancy guns.
He does.
There's a Smith and a Sig. That X Adam was kind of asking people about the extra round holder. If people thought it was just a gimmick, or if you should do it.
What do you think?
Do it if you want.
That's a cop.
Not my thing. And midget with carrot cake. I'm not sure exactly what that is. She didn't say, but kind of cool. The 32, I think, because those are 32 Smith & Wesson bullets. And X Adam 1 got a bunch of free shit. Performance Center M&P. And Baron posted.
What? That guy's still around?
With the fancy sights. He is. He's still kicking.
I don't believe it unless he makes an appearance. It's AI otherwise.
And X Adam 1 and his Henry. And he got the fancy roller thingy for the hammer. I am not a fan of the look of the Henry pistols.
Yeah, they're a little funky.
Not saying they shouldn't exist. They're just not my flavor. Now he can fan his Henry. And his Rhino. There you go. I would love to have one of the Nebula ones, the rainbow colored ones. But I probably never will because they're too expensive for me. I'm cheap.
Cheap, but you're not easy.
I'm kind of easy too.
Oh, okay.
Like Sunday morning.
Another pick from Baron, one of the shorties. And that's my Moroku. And I have to say that an over under, the ASMR sounds it makes, it is goddamn sexy. Just I don't know how to describe it, but just the sounds it makes, all the sounds it makes are really sexy. So, and I'll do a review, overview, whatever video on it sometime whenever I get around to doing it. There's not a lot of information on them out there. But let's go. Let me close that out. We can stop screen sharing that. And say hello to everybody. So Vulcan Rumble said, I'm greatly disappointed in the disloyalty of the state of Ohio towards the U.S. Constitution.
What did I miss?
Woods is out there. Gizzard Gary. Pacifist Productions. Tactical Maverick. X Adam 1. And I know at least one or two more. The goddamn bacon.
Goddamn bacon.
Garage Guy. Vulcan Rumble said to try the Chinese blue line solution, $199. Probably not. It might be good, but it's Chinese. And I know I saw where Justin Grimm and Defense Dad must have had
what?
Probably had to pee. Woke up in the middle of the night. Oh, Mr. Bob Davalina is out there. Said you left the door open, so I came in. I left it open just for you.
I thought we were leaving it open for raccoons. I'm sorry. Either way, Bob got in, so the job was done. Excellent.
Wood said he has a blue line, one of those Chinese shotguns.
Woods has an affinity for shotguns, if people don't know, but when it comes to cheap guns that people would scoff at, he also has an affinity for those. So when you get to combine the two, you can almost guarantee he has them, and he loves to try and break them. It's a neat little hobby. It is. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, so the defense that said definitely had to be, and he's going back to bed. So, have a good night.
Later.
So, as probably most people know, the Hearing Protection Act and the Short Act were stripped out of the big, beautiful bill.
Oh, damn it.
Which
somebody would have never saw that coming.
Yeah. My first thought was, do you hear that, Mr. Anderson? That's the sound of inevitability. I was hopeful, but pretty sure that was going to happen. So there's people try saying, contact your politicians and trying to get everything put back in and all that kind of stuff. But Carolina ADC Reviews is out there. Happy to see you. Glad you're doing all right. He had the heart attacks.
Ooh.
Well, the thing that I didn't understand about how they were trying to do it was with this bill being about spending. That's why I was confused in the first place. Like when I brought it up on Gary's show this past Monday, I was like, are they just removing the tax? Because if they're just removing the tax, then no, I'm not going out and still jumping through all the other hoops that you have to for NFA items. And I was told, oh no, they're supposed to be removing everything. You know, the fingerprints and all that paperwork is just a 4473. I was like, oh, in that case, yeah. And then, but like I said, I was still perplexed as to exactly how they were trying to get that through, because it's supposed to be a spending bill. And obviously that goes far beyond spending.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't understand all of the goings-ons, and I'm not sure what the process was that removed it, or the process to get it back in. So, but I just know where we stand right now.
Now, the thing is, so people are complaining now, like, oh, well, if they just take away the $200 tax stamp, like, it's really watered down and it's going to be baloney, and that'll just be a way for Republicans to say, oh, well, we still got to win, but, you know, this is a bunch of BS and blah, blah, blah. But really, let's say they pass it by just saying, well, you can take away the $200 tax stamp. You still have to go and get fingerprinted, all that fun jazz. Then here would be my argument, and that is, these are arms by definition. There's already 750,000 machine guns registered by claim of the ATF. Who knows how many SBRs, SBSs, suppressors, etc. Now, what does that number balloon to after you remove $200 tax stamp? Because that $200 tax stamp is prohibitive for people. Because when you're talking about just the item alone, and then having to pay $200 on top of that, plus the fingerprinting, all that fun jazz, that's a lot. So now, after you get done going through that whole process, after you remove all that and these numbers balloon even further, you get to go and make the argument that they are in common use. Why is the government regulating these arms that are in common use? They have no business regulating and restricting our Second Amendment rights to these arms. It's a little bit longer of a way to get to the end goal, but it's a way to get to the end goal.
Yeah. And can't remember, because there's an argument where it's not arms. So, and
suppressors, absolutely.
But the government says they're arms. So, I didn't. Somebody was talking about that, and I only caught I didn't actually watch the video. I just saw the title.
Well, by definition, where is the receiver on the suppressor?
Yeah, I mean, it does not fit the definition of an arm. They just said, well, this is an arm, we're going to regulate. If I disappear, if the stream disappears here, I'm stopping the the Rumble stream, since it's not doing anything, but I'm not sure what's going to happen. Hopefully it just stops that part. It doesn't stop the YouTube side. So if it disappears, then I screwed up. So terminate stream to the overnight my smart area and find. I don't know. I'm afraid to touch the buttons. All right. Cross your fingers. Oh, okay. It only closed down the Rumble one. Oh, yeah, we're all right.
Whew. You cut the red wire or the blue wire? Cut the red wire. Okay, we didn't die.
Oh, all right. Except one says government says bent coal hanger is a class 3 automatic rifle.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted short-barreled shotty, almost never used in crime. And I'm not sure what's all going on with the gun comm. I've kind of been seeing people talk about it, but I haven't looked at what they're saying. But the Rumble brings up that the gun con was raided by the fire marshal and shut down, if you have not heard.
Hadn't heard about a fire marshal. I heard that 2 or 3 of the people who were actually putting on one of the programs were actually escorted off the premises and told that they were banned, including Johnny B. He was interviewing some senator from Missouri, and it turns out it's all because this senator was opposed to LGBTQ legislation or something like that, and it was the facility owners, not the gun con people, who had them banned from the premises. So
that's what I had kind of heard, but I hadn't looked into it. It was, yeah, it's kind of odd.
So I'm guessing they won't be back in Cleveland.
Probably not at that venue, that's for sure.
So Cleveland no longer rocks.
Not since Drew Carey moved out.
X Adam 1 is asking, if you got a Kimber 2K11, would you get the 45 or the 9? The 45, of course. I will say, I think the only 9mm 1911 ish thing I've ever shot was the platypus, and I really liked it. I don't know, just not 9mm.
It felt dirty shooting that, but I did enjoy it. It needs to be 10mm though. If it's going to be a millimeter, it needs to be 1 centimeter.
I could go with that. Exatom1 said, yeah, the venue owners kicked out some of the content creators. Pacifist said 45 because they don't make 46.
They do make a 50 though.
Well, you can get into the Roland conversion,
That's true.
but the only
I do
problem
want
with
one of
that
those.
is the only problem with is it costs as much as buying the gun in the first place.
Yep.
That depends, Maverick. Is it a picture or are you holding it?
Holding.
No.
I wanted to
Yankee
contribute
just-
to the Gorn, but all right, next time I'll take a picture
What?
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
If you take a picture of it, either email it to me or put it in the Gorn. I'll show it next week.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, Yankee got a strike because he touched a gun on his wall. He was chasing a fly around, and one of his guns was ajar, so he pushed it with his finger, and they gave him a strike saying he was touching a gun. So he can't live stream right now. Then when he complained, they gave him a second strike for an old video.
You guys hear dogs barking, or is that just me?
Yeah.
Yes, I hear them.
Oh. Sorry, I'm in my backyard, and the coyotes have been really active the last couple nights. So I don't know if I'm hearing it on my end or if it's coming through just on the headphones. So, which is why I'm packing in case one jumps over the fence.
Exatom1 said I was leaning that way. I do have a Prodigy Apollo 11, a Negotiator 9mm, but it's so much fun. I can make the switch to 45 to match my FNX 45 Tactical. I think I've only shot one, I think two FNs. I'm not a fan of the FNs. I think the FNX 9 was the first one I shot, and I didn't like the trigger. Where I don't know how to describe, but where the wall is, it's farther back, and it just might just be I wasn't, I'm not used to them, but I didn't like the feel of it. There wasn't, it shot fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, a personal thing. I didn't care for it. And I think I shot the 10mm. I think Wayward had a 10 FN 10mm shot, which that was okay. And there you go. Vulcan Rumble said a lower court said it was not an arm and was not protected. The higher court says it was. Lower court corrected itself. Okay. XM1, I have the FN509 LS Edge. Not a fan. Trigger sucks. But the FNX Tactical is great right out of the box. Wonderful trigger, in my opinion. And Vulcan Rumble, parliamentary in Congress says it's not a tax. Supreme Court said it was. I am hearing the HBA has changed again an hour ago. And Maverick smells the skunk.
What do you mean the HPA changed again?
I'm not sure. I took it to be maybe they're trying to configure it to get it back in. But,
well, that's what they're trying to do, is make it where the parliamentarian will say, okay, yeah, under that reasoning, yeah, you can put it into this bill.
XM says, I agree, it's not a tax, it's extortion. That's the funniest thing about that is whether you're talking machine gun suppressor, these things are so dangerous unless you pay $300.
But it was 200.
200, sorry.
I just wanted to make sure that I hadn't missed something and it had gone up. I was like, wait, what?
No, it's just me. I've been off. Been kind of off. Started yesterday night. I slept through my alarm, got up late for work, and have been off ever since. It's just been I'm out of sorts. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was 10 minutes late to work. I'm never late.
Wow.
Late. I'm always. I show up 15 to 20 minutes early to work. It gives me, it's a little bit of buffer time. So if there's traffic, I have to take an alternate route. It gives me time to have a little snack. But I'm never late, and I was late. Adam once said, well, I just saw that I'm not tonight's latest millionaire lottery winner. I don't play the lottery. I'd rather waste my money on other things. Vulcan Rumble said Senate rewrote a second time, but have not heard how.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if he just meant like rewrote the HPA as in taking it out and doing it on its own. Essentially, the parliamentarian was saying that with what they want to do in removing SBRs and suppressors from the NFA, the way they're proposing, or at least the way they were originally proposing, is that they need to be in their own bill, not this reconciliation bill. That way they could withstand a filibuster. Funny how Democrats want to make these go against a filibuster when they're just threatening to get rid of a filibuster, 2 years ago?
Well, it's all theater.
Oh, I know.
Both sides say the same things at different times.
Yep.
XM once said $1 and it gives me a couple minutes of hope and a day full of what if dreams. On principle, I don't have a problem with the lotteries. If people want to play the lottery, that's fine. I really don't like the way it's marketed by the states. Because like here in Washington, it's all about, your dreams. What can you buy with all these millions you might win? And I'm not talking about you, Adam One. This next statement is not meant directly towards you, but it's a tax on the dumb, and the poor. Those are who tend to play the lottery. Um, if if you want to, I'm not going to stop you, but um, yeah, it's not my thing. They're, they counted at work. She said they should put birth control on the scratch tickets. So, but except one said I am poor. I don't know if you're poor. You're hardworking. He's always out there hustling. So I don't know. Is there any other 2A related news?
I'm kind of
Well, I
interested
know.
in what. Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, just earlier when you were reading through everything, somebody mentioned that apparently Ohio betrayed the Constitution. I was kind of interested in that one.
I don't know. I figured it was probably had something to do with the hearing protection and all that going on, but I don't hadn't heard anything specific. Mr. Bob said I refer to Lotto Powerball Mega Million purchase as a stupid tax. And I used to do the scratch tickets, and I would win quite a bit. And this is when I was dead. I will admit, I would write bad checks that I didn't have the money to cover them, but I would win enough on the scratch tickets where I would have a little bit of money and be able to cover the checks. Until the day that I did not win and I could not cover that check. That's when I stopped doing it. That was in my more carefree days in my past, when I was younger.
Last year?
No, many years ago. And it was kind of embarrassing to go into the little convenience store and see your check up on the
Oh,
wall of shame. XM1 said, I worked all week but only made 4K. People that I know are buying houses and new cars. I get to upgrade the size of my burger meal to a large if I'm feeling lucky. 4K for a week is pretty good.
yeah. Let's say back when I was driving truck, I'd make a little over that in a month. I mean, that was bring home, but still.
Wood said, Foss, before he had a wife, that is absolutely true. I met my wife when I needed to have met my wife. We'll say that. And Vanessa Kitty's out there. So houses here are north of 300 to 400,000 plus. We are in a simple working class neighborhood. That is the way it is around here. It's crazy. The prices have come down a little bit, but it's still really expensive.
It's absolutely bonkers.
I know there was something else that I meant to bring up, but I didn't. It didn't get written on the whiteboard, so I don't remember what it was. Something else gun related. I don't know. Just waiting. There we go. Vanessa Kitty said these homes were below 100,000 5 years ago. Yeah, I mean, the other thing that comes up, which kind of happened to us, is if you own your home for any length of time, since prices have all gone up, now your taxes have gone up too. And is our house we've been here since 2016, I think. So not quite 10 years. So in about 10 years, our value has gone up like $100,000. And, so that's 100,000 more than we bought it for, which is nice. The value went up, but now our property taxes have gone up accordingly. Mr. Bob said a 3-bedroom ranch with full walkout basement just sold for about 174,000 here in the hood. We're about 30 miles south of St. Louis. Vanessa has to turn in her driver's license due to medical issues. Still trying to wrap my head around that. This is 45 years with a license this month. Well, that sucks. Wood said Foss has a nice house. Been there in real life. It's a decent house. I mean, there's nicer. Vanessa Giddy, this home went up 200,000 since sis-in-law bought it from her mom and sisters. And Vulcan Rumble is asking Harbor Freight gun light. I saw somebody was talking about the Harbor Freight gun light. It's like a Streamlight knockoff.
Yeah, I've seen it. It has a pretty. I've seen one review on it. It has a pretty good light, but I don't know. It's Harbor Freight. Braun, I think. Is it Braun?
It kind of piqued my interest, but it's Harbor, like you were saying, it's Harbor Freight, so I don't know.
And it's $50. I mean, I don't know. Just get the Streamlight or go Olight. I mean,
I have an Olight. I only have one weapon light. I have an Olight, the Valkyrie Mini, which it's a great light. Yeah, it sits on my Taurus TH9. It's one of the home defense guns, and haven't had a problem with it, other than it's Chinese.
Oh, that's true.
And I know everything's Chinese, but still, I would rather have a Streamlight, but Streamlights cost more. So, in general, I try to buy, if not U.S. made, then from a U.S. company. But I know all the parts and pieces are made in China. But, yeah, Fuku YT is out there. Boomstick. Good evening. Vanessa Kitty said, I'm thinking homemade breads in the wood-fired oven outside could bring in funds to keep baking each day. She has a nice outdoor kitchen that she built.
Nice.
Which I believe she has videos on her YouTube channel. So head over there and check it out. She's done a lot of work in her backyard. And there's almost nothing better than the smell of homemade bread in the house. Oh, is there anything else we wanted to talk about? Any goings on? Anyone?
So, what's the next firearm on your list, boss? What are you looking to get next? Now that you
Oh,
secured the over under.
I've been thinking about the. I think I talked about it last week. Might have been in the after chat, but I was thinking about like just a Pieta 45 Colt because I bought some Lehigh Extreme Penetrators, but I accidentally bought heavier than I meant to because I wanted to load them for 45, but they're 250 grain instead of the 230 grain, which there are people who load heavy loads for the 45s, um, but the 250 pushes it up into like 450 Bushmaster or the 45 Colt when I was looking at load data. So I was thinking maybe getting a 45 Colt. I've wanted one for a while. And so just like a Pieta, nothing expensive.
Sounds pretty awesome.
I don't know. Don't know for sure because as always, it'll be I have something, research to figure out what I want to get, and then when I go to buy it, see something else, and then buy that something else. So don't know for sure. Oh, now I have never known, is it Mrs. Mel or Mr. Smell? I think it's Mrs. Mel because his wife does videos too on their channel. He just did a live stream changing his brakes on his pickup truck. I
Nice.
think that was this morning that he did that. But nice to see you. Boomstick said, "Smell of homemade bread or gunpowder, which is better?" I would put bread ahead of the gunpowder, but I do like the smell of gunpowder. Have a good night. Probably had to go to the bathroom. Like a lot of people that show up. Woke up in the middle of the night, had to go to the bathroom, happened to see the stream was on, came and hang out with. I'm glad to see you. So, Vanessa Kitty said you can have fresh baked bread while working your reloading. So, well, if there's no other 2A topics, should we do a bracket?
Frick yeah.
And G-Webs isn't here for the bracket. I don't know. He might. I think he wasn't feeling well. So hopefully he gets the betters. So let me do. There we go.
Let's get it on!
So as suggested last week by I think G-Webs and someone else, might have been Gary. Was it you, Gary?
Well, I don't remember a week back.
That suggested TV moms. TV moms. So we'll do a TV mom bracket. If I had thought about this around Mother's Day, because I almost did a 32 mom bracket, and if I had done this back in Mother's Day, I would have done a super bracket with 32. But since it's outside any special occasion, I decided to go with our standard 16 mom bracket. Before I share that, I've got pictures. of the moms. Let me go find the mom pictures. Mom, or as my sister-in-law is from Minnesota, says mom. Hang on here. Let me delete that one. I had more moms than bracket spaces just to give choices. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. There we go. There's all our moms. Open there, and then I can open. There we go. So, starting off, we've got Carol Brady from the Brady Bunch. Edith Bunker. Elaine Keaton. Andorra from Bewitched. Florida Evans from Good Times. Dynamite. June Cleaver. Kitty Foreman from that 70s show. Lily Munster. Linda Belcher. Lucy Ricardo. Marge Simpson. Marion Cunningham. Morticia Adams. Peggy Bundy. Samantha Stevens. And Wilma Flintstone. So the criteria can be however you think. If you think they're the best mom, if you think they're the funniest mom, if you think they're the milfiest mom, just which is the best mom, ma'am. Are there any questions? No? Let me go up and shuffle. And there we go. So the first matchup is Wilma Flintstone against Edith Bunker. Barbecue.
Look, I'm gonna go with Wilma.
Wilma. Oh, and don't let me forget. After we finish the bracket, I forgot to look at the poll, this week's poll. So we'll look at that after the bracket, as long as I don't forget. Maverick, Wilma Flintstone or Edith Bunker?
Oh, I think I'm going Wilma as well.
Wilma. Gary.
I'm gonna go with Edith Bunker.
Edith Bunker.
Age contemporary.
Those were the days. And out there in the chat, Ozzy Osbourne is out there. But Wood said Wilma. Mr. Bob said Wilma. X Adam 1 said Wilma knew her place. Was in the kitchen and raised the children. Boomstick wants to know who's hotter, Wilma Flintstone or Betty Rubble? Betty.
Betty all day. Unless it's the live action.
Oh yeah, that movie, that Flintstones movie. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Wilma was hotter.
I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Wilma. So Wilma moves on.
Yeah, Edith's voice just, oh god.
Well, for the show, it was perfect.
Yes.
And um, I forgot the name of the show, but Archie Bunker,
All in the Family.
All in the Family. Thank you. That it was Norman Lear said that it was basically to make fun of the working class man, but all the working class men identified with Archie, and it made it popular. So now we've got Florida Evans from Good Times against Lucy Ricardo from I Love Lucy. And it was kind of funny. I watched the video about the opening where, if you've seen I Love Lucy, it's got the heart, and then the script comes across to I Love Lucy. That was added later because originally it was a Philip Morrison cigarette ad at the beginning. So when it hit syndication, they cut that out and then added the heart to get rid of the cigarette branding. Barbecue?
Um,
Lucy Ricardo.
so it turns out Lucille Ball is actually fairly local to me. And I'm pretty sure if I voted against her, some people might cut me. I have to vote for Lucy.
Lucy. There is a statue, Lucille Ball, as Lucy Ricardo, and that thing is the artist apologized for how bad it looks. It is
Yeah.
terrible. Maverick.
Um, Lucy only because I didn't really watch Good Times that much.
Oh, it's a two for Lucy. Gizzard.
Well, I'm gonna go with Florida.
Florida.
'Cause she's just trying to make it.
Have a good night, Justin. He's not into moms.
Maybe he's in dad's.
Trying to. Boomstick said Lucy. The goddamn bacon said I can save Lucy. X Adam 1, Lucy. She was easier on the eyes. Woods, Lucy. I will go. I think I'm going to go Lucy. I did like Good Times, and I like the character of Florida. But if I had a choice of watching the two shows, I would probably watch I Love Lucy. So Lucy Ricardo moves on. So now we've got Linda Belcher from Bob's Burgers against June Cleaver. Barbecue.
Ugh. I feel like it would be sacrilege to vote against June Cleaver. I'm gonna have to go with her.
One for June Cleaver. Maverick. Uh-oh.
Did we lose him?
I'm not hearing him.
Damn it, man! We can't lose him.
He said Linda. He put it out in the chat. So one for Linda. Gary.
I speak jive.
So 2 for June. Ozzy said my Ruger 101 is named Lucille.
Ooh.
We showed that earlier. We showed your SB 101. And X Adam 1, Linda, because I never watched the other show and she kept the nuclear family, not sure about the other. I think I'm gonna go June Cleaver. As a kid, I liked Leave It to Beaver, and I do like Bob's Burgers, but I'm gonna go June Cleaver. The goddamn bacon said, "Got to say, Linda had Bob's back when nothing about his business model was working." That's true. So now Samantha Stevens against Marion Cunningham. Ooh. Barbecue.
Ooh. What were these two in?
It's Bewitched, Samantha Stevens. So it's, Elizabeth Montgomery. And then Marion Cunningham was Happy Days.
Oh, yeah. I cannot believe I couldn't remember that one. Oh, that's a tough one. Oh. We're going to go with Cunningham just because better show.
Marion Cunningham. Maverick.
Samantha Stevens. She knew her place. She always had fresh ice in the ice bucket, and always had a highball ready for Darren when he came home.
Gary.
Samantha Stevens couldn't even tell the difference between the two guys who played her husband, for God's sake. So I'm going to have to go with Mrs. C.
One for Marion. So we've got Boomstick said dirtiest thing on TV in 1961 was Ward asking June, "Where's the beaver?" Wood said Bewitched. X out of 1, I didn't watch either one, but Bewitched mom wasn't even a good mom.
Well, they didn't even have kids, did they?
Yeah,
They did?
a daughter,
Ah, I missed that episode.
Tabitha.
Oh, that's right.
I'm going to go Samantha Stevenson just because I had a thing for Elizabeth Montgomery.
I thought I made a good argument for her.
So that means it's a tie and it goes out to the chat. So everybody vote again for Samantha Stevens or Marion Cunningham. So everybody vote again so I can get a clean count on the vote. So Wood said Samantha, so that's 1 for Samantha. Yeah, the reason they changed Darren's was one Darren was a pervert. And Elizabeth Montgomery didn't like him because he fell in love with her in real life. So Ozzy said Miss C. X Adam 1 said Samantha. Fuku YT said Samantha. So I think we're going to give this to Samantha Stevens. So now we've got Morticia Adams. And Mr. Bob said Samantha too. So that locks it in. Morticia Adams versus Peggy Bundy. Barbecue.
Oh, you got to go with Peg and say she was so villainous with some of the things she would do to Al.
Have a good night. But goddamn Bacon's leaving early. Oh, Maverick. Letitia Adams, Peggy Bundy.
Man, that's a tough one. Because, I mean, if we're going by better mom, right? I would say Morticia was a better mom, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she let her kids play with a lion, had that hand thing running around. And Peg was, I mean, Peg smoked in the house. How could you smoke in the house with all those kids running around? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm going to go Morticia.
Morticia. Gary.
Yeah, I got to go with Morticia on this one.
Morticia. So then thank you, Woods. He put out a divider line for me. Wood said Peggy, cooked with a cigarette. Mr. Bob said Morticia. X Adam 1 said Morticia. Peggy wouldn't even give Al toaster leavings and would steal his $5 paycheck. Mr. Bob said Morticia. Ozzy said Morticia. So I'm going to vote Peggy Bundy, which tied it, which would take it out to the chat, and the chat said Morticia. So Morticia's going to move on. So now we've got Kitty Foreman from that 70s show and Endora from Bewitched. The mom, Samantha Stevens' mom. Barbecue.
So the chick from Bewitched and who else?
Kitty Foreman.
Oh, Kitty.
Kitty. Maverick.
Kitty, because she let the kids smoke in the basement. Better do it in her house than somewhere else.
She was a nurse mom, and she's like all the nurse moms I've ever known.
Yes.
Where their kids were going to do something that maybe is kind of risky, maybe, that borderline. She'd rather have them do it at home where they're safe.
Exactly.
Gary.
Well, Endora was horrible, so yeah, I might have to go with Kitty on this one.
Kitty. Ozzy said Kitty. Wood said Kitty all day. Boomstick said Kitty. I'm actually gonna vote Endora. She was kind of bitchy. I kind of liked it, but I like Kitty Foreman too. So Kitty Foreman moves on. So now we've got Lily Munster against Carol Brady. X Adam 1 said Kitty. She stood up to her husband when needed to keep Eric from getting killed. Lily Munster against Carol Brady. Barbecue.
Definitely Lily Munster.
One for Lily Munster. Maverick.
Yeah, I'm going Lily Munster as well.
2 for Lily Munster. Gizzard.
Carol Brady basically married a man. She had 3 kids from a previous marriage. One of them was practically a teenager and had their surnames changed to her new husband. Who does that? Definitely Lily Munster.
Lily Munster. Boomstick said Lily. Wood said Lily. Ozzy said Lily. I'm gonna actually go Carol Brady, but Lily's gonna move on. When I was little, I watched a lot of Brady Bunch. So now we've got Marge Simpson from The Simpsons and Keaton. Elise Keaton from Family Ties. Barbecue.
Definitely going with Marge.
Marge. Marge Simpson. Maverick.
I yeah, I think Marge. She's put up with a lot of crap. With Bart and then that smart ass Lisa. She's just keeping it all together. Yeah, say Marge.
Gizzard.
I'm going to go with Elise Keaton on this one.
Elise Keaton. Hmm. This is kind of tough for me. They're vastly different. I did watch Family Ties. I liked it. Um, uh, I think I. Ooh, I don't know. This is tough. I think I'm gonna go Elise. I'm gonna go Elise. So that ties it up. So that take that out to the chat. Um, so we've got Boomstick said Marge. X Adam 1 said Elise. Ozzy said Elise. Woods, Elise. So we're going to give that one to Elise Keaton. All right. Now we've got Wilma Flintstone against Lucy Ricardo. Barbecue.
Lucy.
Lucy. Maverick.
Looks wise, it's basically the same person, just different dress. Lucy, because she's a real person. Or was a real person. You know what I mean.
Gizzard.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm not voting for any cartoon character. Lucy Ricardo.
Lucy Ricardo. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Lucy. So, Wood said Lucy is an icon. Ozzy said Wilma. X Adam 1, Wilma didn't have the annoying voice, plus she made those huge ribs. Oh, so June Cleaver, Samantha Stevens. Barbecue.
June Cleaver.
June Cleaver.
There might be something to a Cleaver cut.
Maverick.
Samantha Stevens.
Samantha Stevens. Gary.
June Cleaver.
June Cleaver. So I'm, of course, voting Elizabeth Montgomery. So it ties it up. That's going to be for the chat to decide. We've got X Adam 1 said Samantha. Ozzy Osbourne said June. So it's tied in the chat. We need more votes out in the chat. So vote. Vote now. At least one more person, please. One more person. One more person.
Do it. Do it now.
Boom! Stick, said June.
Ooh, there it is. Wow.
Wood, said June. So it looks like June is going to move on.
Right at the end of June.
Mr. Bob said June, so that locks it.
Wow.
June Cleaver. So now we've got Morticia Adams against Kitty Foreman. Barbecue?
Morticia Adams is just a fake Lily Munster. We're going with Kitty Foreman all day long here.
One for Kitty Foreman. Maverick.
Oh man. Morticia.
Morticia.
Yeah.
Gizzard.
Morticia.
Morticia. Morticia. So I'm going to go Kitty Foreman. So this is another
thank
guy that needs to go out to the chat. We've got Woods, Kitty all day. It's Adam 1, Kitty. Ozzy Osbourne, Kitty. I think Kitty's going to take that.
It's 3-0 right now.
We'll give it a couple seconds here in case we get a couple more votes. Mr. Bob said Morticia.
Ooh. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that.
Not a problem. So we're going to give it to Kitty Foreman. So now we've got Lily Munster against Elise Keaton. Boomstick said Morticia. Sorry, Boomstick said Morticia. Barbecue, Lily Munster or Elise Keaton?
We'll go with the original of the creepy TV show character moms and go with Lily Munster.
What for Lily Munster? Maverick.
Yeah, Lily Munster.
Two for Lily Munster. Gizzard.
Lily Munster, because it should have been Lily against Morticia. That would have been epic for the semifinal.
Well,
Wouldn't have even been close.
The randomizer chose. And technically, the Addams Family was first. They came out 6 days before the Monsters did.
Did they really?
Yeah. Let me. Where am I? So, what'd you say, Gary?
About what? Oh, on that one?
Yeah.
Lily Munster.
So, Lily Munster. So we've got Boomstick said Lily. Mr. Bob said Lily. Woods said Lily. Ozzy said Lily. X Adam 1 said Lily. They gilded the Lily. I'll throw one in for Elise, but Lily's going to move on.
I feel like Foster's just trying to Mandela affect me.
It's the truth. It's actual. Everything is satisfactual. Lucy Ricardo versus June Cleaver.
Ooh. Lucy.
Lucy. Maverick.
Did June ever smoke around the kids? I'm kidding.
No.
I'm going Lucy.
And Gary.
At least June raised her kids in a house and not a tenement apartment. So let's go with June Cleaver.
June Cleaver. So we've got X Adam 1 said Lucy. Boomstick said June.
Mm.
Wood said Lucy. Ozzy said June. So a little back and forth out there. I'm going to go Lucy. So now we've got Kitty Foreman versus Lily Munster. Barbecue.
Believe it or not, this is a little tough for me because growing up, Munsters were one of my favorite shows ever. But I've got to go with Kitty.
One for Kitty. Yeah, Mr. Bob had said June. Maverick. Kitty Foreman, Lily Munster.
Oh man. To keep it interesting, Lily Munster.
Lily Munster. Gary.
Lily Munster.
Lily Munster. So before I look at the chat, I'm going to vote Kitty Foreman, which is going to tie it up. And then I can go out to the chat and start counting. So we've got one for Kitty. That's Ozzy. Boomstick said Lily. Wood said Kitty. So we'll give it a couple seconds here. Kitty is winning.
Just like to remind people of the episode where Kitty calls Red a dumbass. It's a great episode. And Red is like, we were having a nice lunch.
Mr. Bob said Lily. So it's tied. 2-2.
That's the second time that Mr. Bob has voted against Kitty. I feel like Kitty might have broken Mr. Bob's heart.
Maybe. So we need one more vote. We need a tiebreaker out there.
Oh, snap. Next one wins it.
Let me just log in on my alternate YouTube.
One more vote. One more person.
You can do it.
Don't be afraid.
I hope somebody wakes up to take a leak in the middle of the night and then they can just vote real quick.
Make sure you wash your hands first.
Yeah.
Oh, it's your phone. Do whatever you want.
Before or after? Or both? Or during?
If you got your phone that close to your toilet while urinating, probably don't have to worry about washing your hands.
Mr. Bob said Lily was all about serving her family, from packing Herman's lunch to encouraging her children to accept themselves as they were.
Yeah, but you know what?
Literally took in Hyde, whose parents didn't care for him. They're like, here, you can just live in our basement. And then when he meets his real dad and he was insulting them, and then the real dad realizes, like, oh, yeah, I was probably a little bit of a dick, and he comes back the next day. She's like, I felt so bad about not sending you home with leftovers, and then goes and gives them leftovers.
Yeah, unfortunately, Hyde then is now serving the prison.
Yeah.
Come on, one more vote. For the love of God, somebody
We're
vote.
stuck.
I mean, there's just the whole fact that he's a Scientologist in the first place. That's a whole weird thing. Although, like, when I go to the hospital and they're like if something were to happen, and would you a clergyman or whatever the hell to come in and give you your last rites? And I'm like, I'm a Scientologist. The look on their face every time is awesome. I can't really tell what the look is anymore, but they don't. You can tell they don't know what the hell to say next. And then I'm like, nah, I'm just messing with you.
One more. I just need one more vote. Just one more person. I know
Oh, here we go. Ooh. Does that count?
What?
Woods' wife votes Kitty. Does that count? Oh, he actually asked if it counts. Oh yeah, he did.
Well, otherwise we're going to be here all night.
I'm going to count it.
All right,
Yep.
it counts.
We're going to have to count it. So Kitty Foreman moves on. So the final is Lucy Ricardo.
I say, plus Mrs. Woods is pretty badass. I say she's actually rather kitty-esque, I'd say.
I think she would have to be.
Yeah.
X-Adam once said flip a coin. Well, I was looking for the deciding wheel. I couldn't think of the stupid term for the stupid wheel.
Wheel of
But
names.
we're going to give it to
Wheel of Fortune.
we're going to count Woods' wife's vote. So the final is Lucy Ricardo versus Kitty Foreman. Barbecue.
Ooh. I got to go with Kitty.
One for Kitty. Maverick.
I'm going Kitty.
Kitty. Two for Kitty. Gizzard.
Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
Ooh, 3.
Three for Kitty. Ozzy said Kitty. Oh, I am going to go. Wood said Kitty. I was stalling a little bit so the chat could catch up. There's a delay between us talking and the chat hearing it and then the chat replying. So trying to give it a little bit of time there. But I'm going to go Kitty. I liked I Love Lucy. I watched it a lot when I was a kid, but Kitty Foreman reminds me of my when in grade school, my best friend, his mom was a nurse, and his dad was just like Red, kind of an alcoholic dick. Not as Red had a little bit of redeeming quality to him. My friend's dad didn't, but his mom was a nurse and a lot like Kitty. She reminds me of her. So I'm going to go Kitty. So Kitty Foreman, oops, I guess that should be 4, has been voted the best mom.
That's awesome, because she almost did not make the list.
I thought it was going to be Bernie Fife.
Jesus. Yeah, Barney Fife is starting forward for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Oh, he's a world champion. No. Again.
That's their only championship. That is their only goddamn championship.
Are we bitter? Methinks possibly so.
The Rain Man didn't play for Oklahoma City. Downtown Freddie Brown did not play for Oklahoma City. Lenny Wilkens didn't coach for that goddamn team. So let me look. I almost forgot.
Oh, wow.
The poll. This week's poll. Oh, let me find where I put the poll. I lost my poll.
It wouldn't have happened if you'd had a poll lock.
So this week's poll was: is artificial intelligence dangerous?
Yes.
No, it's just a tool. Not currently, but it could be in the future. Yes, it's hard to tell what's real or artificial. Or we have created and are training the usurper of mankind. So 34% said yes, it's hard to tell real or artificial. 33% said not currently, but it could be in the future. 27% said we have created and are training our usurper of mankind. 7% said no, it's just a tool. Looking at the comments, let me refresh to make sure we got all the comments in there. So 22 Guru said when it takes control of everything digital, we're in trouble. Fuku YT Mark 6 Boomstick said Cyborgs rule. Terrible movie though. The Jean-Claude Van Damme Cyborg. DJ Play Nice, it's a tool for sure, but unlike any other we've known, AI sentience could and will, if not already, be potentially dangerous. What hath men wrought? New York Outcast. Johnny 5 is the perfect example. No disassemble. It will be a problem at some point. Michigan War Conservative. It will be interesting to see how AI writes the history in the end. The Goddamn Bacon said game, blouses, Atari 2600. Tactile Maverick. I've seen all 6 parts of the Terminator documentary. Guns and Water. AI is dangerous, but not in the way of your answers. AI is making people the next level dumber. As our gadgets encourage us to think and remember less and less, AI will atrophy the brain muscle one more step lower than our path to complete dependency. Self-sufficiency is the bane of tyrants. Freedom dies in the seductive sheets of a soft bed. I kind of agree with him. Exatom 1. In and of itself, it's not dangerous, but we are human and will use it in all the negative. It's as dangerous as a gun. It's as dangerous as a gun. It's all on the operator. Sad said, ask Skynet. Patriot in the Dark. Social media was sold as a way to find and connect with long-lost friends, communicate with like-minded individuals, to elevate and enlighten the masses. We see how that's all worked out. I think it's safe to say nothing goes the way we plan. Oh, and never trust robots. Hear, hear. Guy Shamblin. AI is a vessel for demons. And Woods said, we are making a god. It's smarter than us. So, we got pretty good participation. 237 votes in that one. I think it's kind of like everything. It's a double-edged sword. There's a lot of upside and there's a lot of potential downside to the AI. What's your guys' thought? Anyone?
I voted the second option, not currently, but could be in the future. So I'm 33% correct.
So how do you think that'll come about?
I'm pretty sure Skynet will figure out how to be irritating all by itself. I've seen the movies.
I believe it will become sentient.
Yep, that's what'll happen.
Well, when you get into the quantum computing, which is kind of voodoo magic, who knows what's going to happen?
Well, supposedly, they've already created a couple of the quantum computers. They just haven't created them where they would be able to be mass produced for everyone to have yet.
Well, when they built the first one, built the first one, and it's up and running. It can do trillions of computations a second.
Yep.
And they're like, this thing can do all this stuff, and we don't understand how it works. Like
Which
I said,
I'm like, if we don't understand how it works, how the hell do we make it?
I don't know. But that was quite a few years ago, so it's probably vastly more powerful than it was then. Now
Yeah,
they might understand it better,
but and like that's my thing with the AI stuff. Like they've already had instances years ago when they're just developing it, where they're like, let's have these AI programs talk to each other, and then they're like, oh, we lost control of it, and they're just going back and forth in binary, so they couldn't detect like what's actually being said between the two things. But they're like, yeah, they just kind of went rogue, and we had to just pull the plug.
Yeah, I think didn't was it Google that had an AI that was thinking for itself or something, and it started to like emote like human feeling or something, like the way it was responding to certain things. Am I, or did I not, or am I not remembering that
I
correctly?
I remember hearing something about that.
Yeah. So I think, it's just. I mean, I don't know. It's like I agree with that one comment where it's just helping us get dumber, and
Well,
and then we'll just won't be able to rely on on ourselves to, or some of us won't, some of us will, but yeah.
we already have an issue with society where people don't know how to people.
Right.
They have no idea how to interact. They can't hold a conversation, let alone carry a conversation. Um, I don't. Only recently, and when I say recently, I mean 2 days ago did I start playing with AI. Like seriously, but I constantly get ads for I'm an AI girl and you can, do whatever you want with me. You can change it. I'm like, why the frick am I getting this? It makes no sense to me. But constantly get ads like that. And how many guys that don't know how to talk to a chick or anything else see that and go, perfect.
Right.
But then as the AI learns human interaction and emotion, and more importantly, that individual person, like it will just get people to alienate more and more.
I use it for thumbnails and such, and um, so I'll, I guess it's just I just dabble in it. On the you see a lot of on YouTube where it's supposedly the celebrity selling this quack medicine shit,
Yep.
and you can tell it's. I mean, they look really good and sound. Some of them sound really good. Some of them are off, but if you're not sure, if you watch really really closely, usually when the character is talking, then you can kind of catch where it doesn't quite sync with the audio. So, or the way what they're saying is scripted, because
Yeah.
there'll be awkward sentences. And then you can kind of sometimes tell if it's Chinese by the syntax.
The
Um,
one thing that in the last couple of days of messing with the AI, so because I'm just using Chat GPT, GBT, whatever the hell it is right now, but one with the whole being blind thing, and being very descriptive with everything is helping. But then doing the photography, I'm putting in certain cues to it where I'm telling it, increase the brightness of this by a stop a light, or I want this background blurred like it was this type of focal length, or things like that, which it's really neat to see the image change when I put in those things.
If you look at Brooke Cheney's intro, the one she's using now, I made that for her. That's all based on a static photo. All that movement is all AI generated, and you would never know that.
Witchcraft.
It kind of is. Vulcan Rumble said, I have a degree in this, and no one has ever explained to me who needs quantum computing and who I would sell it to. So therefore, quantum computing is bullshit and it has no market. Exatom 1, if you would allow AI into your brain via chip like some movies, would you allow AI into your brain so you and AI can enhance you and assist, learning self-defense fighting in seconds and other languages, etc.? I would not.
No.
From what I understand, the idea of having quantum computing available for the everyday person is just the fact of the speed of it. Gamers, for example, never having your game lag again. Video editing, when you're editing videos for your YouTube, or maybe you're doing long form or high end full video productions, et cetera, just with what I'm doing with photography, right now I'm taking quite a bit of time to edit my photos. If I had something quicker, which I realize I could invest and get something quicker, which I would like to do, but if they could make a quantum computer that the everyday person could afford, I mean, the things now would be so obsolete. All the things that we do already would just be that much quicker.
I have a friend that's a teacher, and that he has to deal with students using AI to do papers and stuff. And he did bring up a good point, and I don't remember exactly how he'd put it, but what I gathered from him talking was I saw there's a similar, if student takes a subject and then tells AI, write this paper, and then turns it in, he can tell. He has an AI checker built into the software they use, but he said he can tell because he knows the students. So if they're using words that he knows they don't know and they use them properly, then he knows it's AI generated. But he was kind of talking basically where they have AI generate the information and then they rewrite it in their own words. And I realized that's basically like, I'm old enough where I use the not an almanac, but
Thomas Guide.
Thesaurus?
The
TV Guide.
Toilet paper.
Spell check.
Oh, that little pocket word thing.
No, the God damn it.
Yeah.
But basically, if they researched it, found it in a book, and then wrote their
Microfiche.
paper, it's akin to that, where they're getting the information from a source. That you have to, the AI can be, as um, G Webs likes to say, confidently wrong. You have to double check the information, but it becomes a tool that's like using the looking it up in a book.
Hmm.
I don't know. That's. But I don't know. He had put it kind of like machine, person, machine, and I don't remember what all the steps, but
Yeah. But who's to say that
encyclopedia. Thank you.
who's to
Because
say that? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was to say we had a set of the Encyclopedia Americana when I was growing up, and that's I would use that for reports and stuff.
Right. Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, but then where is the AI getting its information from? So, like, um, how does this kid know that the information that they asked AI to write a report on is actually giving them, like, let's say history, right? Like it's a history paper that they need to write, and you know, uh, it's they get
Well,
the date. They get the dates. How do they know the dates are correct or the
Well, it'd be easier
um,
to double check.
yeah, but if they're
that's
just
what he said
rewriting
is
it in their own words and not even double checking it, doing any
Well,
other
then that's their. If you're just going to assume, then you don't care. But if you're
right,
going to sit there and say, "How do you know?" I mean, it's
that
either
is
do you care or do you not.
that is one thing that he said, that he tells them to double check this with another source, you know, so you can make sure that it's the information is correct.
Hmm.
I'm not a luddite, because I have technology. I use technology, but I am usually skeptical of it and wary. There's I understand there's a lot of upside, definitely, but I was thinking about that too after on my drive home after having lunch. Is quarterly I get together. There's a few of us that get together that have known each other at least from junior high. I think all of us have known each other from junior high. Um, and I've got my Google Maps on, and was kind of thinking, how much am I losing by using the technology? X Adam One said the biggest that is my biggest concern regarding digital information. It can be manipulated too easily multiple times. The lie will become the truth.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
mean,
There's no. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say, I remember when I was a kid, um, knowing at least, I don't know, I knew a bunch of phone numbers, 20, 10, 15, 20 maybe phone numbers in my head. Now I only know two, my own and my wife's. You know what I mean? Or three actually, and then my desk line. But other than that, I mean, my mom's phone number, I have to look it up in my phone. My brother's I have to pull it up in the phone. And that's with just that. And then also, like you were saying, is like I used to know how to get around without the GPS app on my phone. Um, I would pull up Thomas Guide and then I would just like, all right, this is the way I gotta go to, wherever I'm going, and then I would just drive. Now it's like I'm, I'll pull up I'll have it running in the background, and just in case I run into traffic and find an alternate route, just in case. But it's like before I used to just be able to, like, all right, I'm on the freeway, it's slowing down, I'll get off here, make a couple turns, and then get back on over here. Hopefully it'll be cleared up, but not anymore. Now it's just pull it up on the phone. It's easier, and let's just keep going.
Well, on the phone number thing, I mean, obviously, phone books are a thing of the past.
Yeah.
Our phone books are our phones. But we also live in a different time now where people don't keep the same phone number. I remember growing up, people had the same phone number when they had a landline,
Yeah, that's a
and
good
they
point.
didn't change it like it was a pair of underwear. So remembering somebody's phone number was easy to do. You might have had it written down because that's the thing. Like, people think, oh yeah, I just remember these phone numbers, but there was also a spot where you had a bunch of phone numbers written down, like we have them in our phone or something. Granted, it wasn't 150 contacts or some crap like that, but it might have been Aunt Sally and Grandma and Grandpa and stuff like that. But it came to a point where you just had those memorized anyways because they
Right.
never changed. But then we got to an era where people were like, oh, well, I'm going to a different cell provider because I didn't pay my bill on this one, and I'm jumping over here now. Well, now I got to get a new number. Well, this person keeps calling me, so I'm going to get a new number. This bill collector and blah blah blah, and it's ridiculous. They started handing out numbers like they're freaking candy, and it got to a point where I think people are just like, oh, I'm not going to bother remembering that number. I can just put it in my phone, and if they change it again, I'll just change it when they contact me next.
I
That's
can
a good point.
remember. I know 3 phone numbers: mine, my wife's, and my work. That's it. I don't know my kids. And Ozzy said I still have an atlas in my car. I wish I had. I had a set of maps for all 50 states. I got it for, I don't know. I like bought tires, and they gave me 2 sets, and I gave one to a friend. I wish I still had that set of maps. It's the kind of thing where we got our first GPS, and well, we'll need these maps now. I got a GPS. Oh shit! I wish I had the maps. They're probably way out of date still. I still prefer to have a printed sheet than to read it on a computer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like reading here, but it's a pain in the ass to print out everything you want.
Every wrestling season, they normally just take and. Have you guys ever heard of the Band app?
No.
So it's
I've heard of the Gap Band.
Never heard of that. So Band app is an app that a lot of sports teams are using to keep in contact with parents, things like that, to notify of any cancellations or upcoming practices, all kinds of crap like that.
Yeah, kind of like a game changer for. Yeah, I know what you mean now.
So, a lot of these teams will just post like, "Here's our schedule," and there you go. And so every wrestling season, our board will do that with our schedule, and I absolutely hate that. I like to have a physical in-hand schedule that you can put on the refrigerator, whatever. So I still go and I type everything out on my computer, print it off, and then I give it out to all my wrestlers' parents at practice. And it's amazing how many people are just like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. This is so much better than, having to go into the app every time we want to see what's going on next week.
Wood said, I have a topo map of the state. I have a state map drawn in the style of Lord of the Rings. And Ozzy said, in case of EMP, your phone is worthless. I don't think EMPs are really a threat anymore. They weren't really ever a threat. It was way exaggerated, the power and effect of the EMP bombs. Basically, back in the 80s when everybody was talking EMPs, they weren't as powerful as we thought they were. And in order to be as powerful to do the things we thought they could do, basically they would turn off your electronics and they would turn you off. They weren't at that stage. And then now you're just going to get a drone strike rather than EMPs.
Yeah.
X-Adam1 said, yep, your a phone battery will die, but you still have your paper map. So, Mr. Barbecue.
Mr. Boss.
Is there anything you want to let everybody know about? Anything you got coming up?
Before we wrap up, just
Sure.
to entertain Gizzard Gary, can we do Morticia versus Lily?
Sure. So
I'm voting
Morticia
for
Adams versus Lily Munster. You said you're voting Lily?
Lily Munster, yep.
Maverick.
Morticia.
Gizzard?
Lily Munster.
Lily. I voted Morticia because the X-Adam. The Adams Family was a better show. When I was a kid, I liked the Munster, and as I matured, I preferred the Adams Family.
Just the car alone made it a better show.
Ozzy
The
said
Munster
Morticia.
Mobile?
Mm-hmm.
The Dragula. Grandpa's dragster.
Yep.
Have the Munsters had any remakes or?
Yeah.
Because I know
just as bad as the Adams Family remakes.
Yeah, so there was the Adams Family. It had the two movies, right? With
there's like
Raul Julia, and then there's that Wednesday on Netflix, right?
Yeah, I never watched it, but yeah.
Oh, all right. Because Catherine Zeta-Jones plays a good Morticia, just because she's the hottest one. But I don't know. I don't remember seeing anything on the Munsters though. Which one ran longer though, the Munsters or the Addams Family on the originals?
Don't know.
Huh. Interesting.
So Addams Family had 64 episodes.
Munsters had 70.
Had 70. And it was nominated for a Golden Globe in 65.
Wow. You got to remember that what's his face that played Herman was also the judge in My Cousin Vinny.
What is a Ute?
Well, he's also in Car 54. Where are you?
Yep.
Fred Gwynn.
So is Al Lewis.
Yeah. Which was I really liked that show.
It was funny. Had Nipsey Russell on it too. A very young Nipsey Russell.
So what's going on out in the chat with these?
Well, we had one vote for Matisha. Mr. Bob said Adam's Family had more episodes. So there were.
No.
It says the Addams Family capped out at 64 episodes, ranking number 23 in TV ratings for the first season, and dropped out of the top 30 afterwards. Monsters had 70 episodes in its original run and ranked 18 in its first season, and was nominated for Best Show at the 65 Golden Globes. I don't know. I like the Addams Family more. I've quoted the Addams Family more. I used to tell people if I had a horse, I'd horsewhip you.
Of course, of course.
So was there any? So it came out a tie, I believe. People just
Darn.
could not choose. So you got anything coming up?
Well, I did, and then turns out I was right about the Big Beautiful Bill, and I didn't get stuff edited in time, and now I have to go back and re-record videos to try and edit videos. So, I mean, I might get a video out of eventually. Apparently, I need to be quicker with my editing process. So, maybe one day. I really thought I was going to have something soon, but we'll see what happens.
Okie doke. Tactical Maverick. Gizzard,
Yeah.
can you do me a favor?
Hmm.
Can you grab a link for Tactical Maverick's channel and drop it in the chat for me?
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure thing.
I'm planning on doing more, getting back on YouTube and producing more content. But yeah, it's just it's been a little difficult right now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to putting some more stuff out there. So keep an eye out for it.
Well, it is very good to see you and have you on the chat.
Thank you.
What happened to Tactical Goose?
I took my tactical Maverick 88. No, I'm kidding. Who's tactical goose? Moose or goose?
He got domed on the way out. He's talking Top Gun.
Oh,
Goose.
my bad. That went over my head.
It didn't go over a goose's head.
Gary,
Yes,
you got anything coming up?
maybe. Monday night, Foul Territory, 9 p.m. Central, right on my show. If you're a channel member, members only chat Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Central. And I just put out some knife reviews this past week. I got 3 more knives in from O Knife, and I will put those out next week. So, yeah, check it out. Thanks for having me.
And also your Boomer listens.
Boomer listens. That's right.
Yeah, I did it again today. Got home from work.
Oops.
Was messing on the computer while I was trying to get stuff set up, and I went to look for your Friday chat. Which you're gonna have to start doing a Friday chat again, because apparently I need you to do a Friday chat. So I have something to listen to Saturday mornings,
What time Friday?
whatever time you want. There, Gizzard put a link for his Boomer Listens. He does music reactions as a boomer.
Well, I am a boomer.
Not a Sooner, just a boomer.
Just a boomer.
So thank you to everybody. If you watch this in replay, leave a comment. Whatever we talk about. How do you feel about AI? Who's your favorite mom? And I read all the comments. They are always appreciated. Next chat will be next Saturday. That'll be after the 4th. So hopefully everybody has a good 4th of July. Go out and celebrate. Stay home and celebrate. But celebrate. It's a grand old day. And I think other than that, I hope everybody has a good rest of the day and go do something good.